Human right lung, full detailed explained. Human right lung, full detailed explanation, medical animation in 3D. Introduction. Imagine taking a breath right now. It feels simple, automatic, and effortless. But inside your body, an incredibly complex organ is working every second to keep you alive. Today we're exploring the human right lung, one of the most important organs in the respiratory system. The lungs are responsible for delivering oxygen to the blood and removing carbon dioxide from the body. Although both lungs work together, the right lung has unique anatomical features that make it different from the left lung. In this detailed guide, we'll travel from the outer structure of the right lung down to its microscopic air sacs, discover how breathing happens, and learn why this organ is essential for survival. What is the right lung? The right lung is one of two lungs inside the chest cavity. It sits on the right side of the body and occupies a large space within the thoracic cavity. The main function of the right lung is taking oxygen from inhaled air, delivering oxygen to the bloodstream, removing carbon dioxide, helping regulate blood pH, supporting speech and sound production. Unlike the left lung, the right lung is slightly larger because the heart occupies more space on the left side of the chest. Average measurements. Length, around 25 to 30 centimeters. Weight, approximately 600 to 700 grams. Color in healthy adults, pinkish gray. Shape, cone-shaped. Location of the right lung. The right lung is located inside the chest cavity, above the diaphragm, below the collarbone, beside the heart, protected by ribs. The upper part of the lung is called the apex, extending slightly above the first rib. The lower broad region is called the base, resting on the diaphragm. Lobes of the right lung. One major difference between the right and left lungs is the number of lobes. The right lung contains 3 lobes. Superior lobe, located at the top. Functions, participates in oxygen exchange, receives inhaled air first. Middle lobe, unique to the right lung. Functions, helps increase respiratory surface area, contributes to ventilation. Inferior lobe, largest lobe of the right lung. Functions, major site of gas exchange, receives significant blood flow. Fissures of the right lung. The right lung contains 2 fissures. Horizontal fissure, separates superior lobe, middle lobe. Oblique fissure, separates middle lobe, inferior lobe. These fissures allow lung sections to expand independently. Surface anatomy. The right lung has several surfaces. Costal surface, faces ribs, smooth and curved. Mediastinal surface, faces the center of the chest, contains the lung root. Diaphragmatic surface, rests on diaphragm muscle. The hilum, gateway of the lung. The hilum is the entry and exit point for structures entering the lung. Structures passing through. Right main bronchus, pulmonary artery, pulmonary veins, nerves, lymphatic vessels. Think of the hilum as a busy transportation station. Airways, inside the right lung. air follows a specific route, nose or mouth to pharynx, to larynx, to trachea, to right main bronchus, to lobar bronchi, to segmental bronchi, to bronchioles, to alveoli. Right main bronchus. The right main bronchus differs from the left because it is wider, shorter, more vertical. Because of this structure, inhaled objects accidentally entering the airway often become lodged in the right lung. Bronchi and bronchioles. Inside the lung, airways become progressively smaller. Bronchi, supported by cartilage, conduct air. Bronchioles, smaller branches, no cartilage, control airflow. Tiny smooth muscles around bronchioles expand or contract. Alveoli, tiny air sacs. At the end of bronchioles are millions of tiny air sacs called alveoli. The right lung contains millions of these structures. Functions. Oxygen enters blood. Carbon dioxide leaves blood. Alveoli have extremely thin walls to allow rapid gas exchange. If all alveoli were spread flat, their surface area could cover a tennis court. Blood supply of the right lung. The lung has two circulatory systems: pulmonary circulation. Pulmonary arteries carry oxygen-poor blood to lungs. Pulmonary veins carry oxygen-rich blood back to heart. Bronchial circulation provides oxygen nutrients. Blood supply to lung tissues. How breathing works. During inhalation, diaphragm contracts, chest expands, lung volume increases, air moves inside. During exhalation, diaphragm relaxes, chest becomes smaller, air exits lungs. This process happens approximately 12 to 20 times every minute in adults. Protection of the right lung. The right lung is protected by ribs create a protective cage around the lungs, pleura, a double membrane surrounding the lungs. Layers include visceral pleura, parietal pleura. Between them lies pleural fluid, reducing friction during breathing. Common right lung diseases. Several conditions can affect the right lung. Pneumonia, infection causing fluid accumulation. Symptoms: fever, cough, chest pain. Lung cancer, abnormal cell growth within lung tissue. Risk factors: smoking, air pollution, genetics. Asthma, airways become inflamed and narrow. Symptoms: wheezing, difficulty breathing. Tuberculosis, a bacterial infection affecting lungs. Symptoms: persistent cough, weight loss, night sweats. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, causes airflow blockage. Symptoms: shortness of breath, chronic cough. Amazing facts about the right lung. The right lung is larger than the left lung. It has 3 lobes while the left has 2. Humans breathe around 20,000 times daily. Lungs contain hundreds of millions of alveoli. Oxygen reaches body cells within seconds. Conclusion: the right lung is far more than a simple breathing organ. It is a highly specialized biological system containing airways, blood vessels, microscopic structures, and protective layers working together continuously. Every breath delivers life-sustaining oxygen and removes waste gases from the body. Without the right lung and its partner on the left side, survival would be impossible. Your lungs are working every second, even while sleeping, making them one of the most extraordinary organs in the human body. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more detailed medical animations and human anatomy videos. Additional detailed content for human right lung video script. You can add this section to make the video longer and more detailed. Embryological development of the right lung. The development of the right lung begins very early during pregnancy. Around the 4th week of embryonic development, a structure called the lung bud forms from the primitive foregut. Development stages include embryonic stage, formation of main bronchi. Initial airway development starts. Pseudoglandular stage, bronchi continue branching. Respiratory structures begin forming. Canalicular stage, blood vessels increase. Future air sacs begin developing. Saccular stage, primitive alveoli appear. Alveolar stage, millions of alveoli continue developing after birth. At birth, lungs are not fully mature. Lung development continues for several years. Bronchopulmonary segments of the right lung. The right lung is divided into smaller functional units called bronchopulmonary segments. These segments allow doctors to identify specific diseased areas. Superior lobe segments. Apical segment, located at the top. Posterior segment, located toward the back. Anterior segment, located in the front. Middle lobe segments. Lateral segment, medial segment. Inferior lobe segments. Superior segment, medial basal segment, anterior basal segment, lateral basal segment, posterior basal segment. Each segment has its own bronchus, blood vessels, nerves. Microscopic anatomy of the right lung. Under a microscope, lung tissue contains several specialized cells. Type 1 alveolar cells. Functions: thin cells. Gas exchange occurs here. Around 95% of alveolar surface area is covered by these cells. Type 2 alveolar cells. Functions: produce surfactant. Surfactant reduces surface tension, prevents alveoli from collapsing. Without surfactant, breathing becomes extremely difficult. Alveolar macrophages, known as dust cells. Functions: destroy bacteria, remove dust particles, clean lungs. These act as the immune defense system of the lungs. Nerve supply of the right lung. The right lung receives nerve signals from parasympathetic nervous system. Effects: constricts bronchioles, increases mucus secretion. Sympathetic nervous system. Effects: expands bronchioles, improves airflow. During exercise, sympathetic activity increases. Lymphatic drainage of the right lung. The lungs have an important drainage system called the lymphatic system. Functions: removes excess fluid, removes waste products, helps fight infections. Lymph travels through pulmonary lymph nodes, bronchopulmonary nodes, tracheobronchial nodes. Doctors examine these lymph nodes in lung diseases and cancer. Oxygen exchange process in detail. Follow one oxygen molecule. Step 1. Air enters through the nose. Step 2. Moves through trachea. Step 3. Reaches right bronchus. Step 4. Travels through bronchioles. Step 5. Reaches alveoli. Step 6. Passes through alveolar membrane. Step 7. Enters blood capillaries. Step 8. Attaches to hemoglobin in red blood cells. Step 9. Travels to body tissues. Carbon dioxide follows the reverse pathway and leaves the body. Effects of smoking on the right lung. Smoking damages the lungs in several ways. Cilia destruction. Tiny hair-like structures called cilia become damaged. Results: dust accumulates. Mucus builds up. Increased infection risk. Alveolar damage. Smoking destroys alveolar walls. Effects: reduced oxygen absorption. Breathing difficulty. Cancer risk. Smoking increases mutation rates in lung cells. Long-term risks: lung cancer, chronic bronchitis, emphysema. Interesting facts for viewers. The lungs contain approximately 300 to 500 million alveoli. Humans inhale around 11,000 liters of air every day. The right lung is shorter because the liver pushes it upward. A person can survive with one functioning lung. Lungs are the only organs that can float on water because they contain air. This extra section can easily extend your anatomy video by 5 to 8 more minutes and make it feel more like a full medical documentary. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe my YouTube channel Health Fact Center.